Hello, everyone. This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
Look, I'm black guy. Hello, how may I help you?
Hey, Habibi, look, my hang low ain't working like it's supposed to. You got any of them sex pills?
May I randomly suggest one of these generic products?
Nah.
You should take the A game, little bro.
Bling bling for the ding ding.
Nah.
You shouldn't be taking that poison, little bro. Here, try one of mine.
Yes, right.
A game will make a girl give you her credit card number.
It is very true.
Plus, it's an all-natural solution for men. Not like these gas station pills gonna make your manhood shrivel up and fall off.
Oh my golly, he's right. A-game is an all-natural solution for men. And you take it and it give you energy and libido and your vitality will be out the roof.
I feel it kicking in already. I'm gonna go home and show my girl.
Okay, but don't forget to drink 16 to 32 ounces of water.
Hey, baby.
Ooh, look who brought their A game.
And that A is for apocalypse, cause I'm about to blow your back up. Ow!
Ooh, I love it when you bring your...
Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, see the title. This is why Black culture is trashy. Our culture is trash, y'all. Okay? I just need y'all to understand that Black culture as it stands in America is really a trashy kind of culture. Not every part of it. Let me be very clear. Our history is not trashy. We have a rich history in this country, and prior to being brought to this country, those of us whose ancestors were brought to this country, we have a very rich history as a people from all over the world and various parts of the world. I'm not talking about our history, and I'm not talking about historical figures. I'm talking about the culture as it stands today. Our culture as a people is trashy. And one reason why our culture is trashy is because we like to uphold symbolic things, but we don't like to have things that have value. Here's one of the things that I was actually thinking about that kind of made me want to do this video. You know, I'm from Chicago. So in Chicago on the South Side, every year, except for last year, and everybody knows why, we have what's called the Bud Billiken parade, right? And it is a Black people parade. And it is meant to kick off the school year and all of that type of stuff. And one thing that I was surprised to find out when I was really young was that there's no such person as Bud Billiken. So we have a parade that carries a name of a fictitious person, not the name of a person that has history in our culture that represents something in our culture. Nothing like that. We have the Bud Billiken parade, and this is when I was in school. I was in grade school when I tried to figure out, well, who is Bud Billiken? I had never heard of that name before. Come to find out, when I did my little research, there was no such thing as Bud Billiken. So I was always put off by that. Like, how we got a whole parade for Black people named after somebody fictitious is not even real. And on top of that, we do things like celebrate Juneteenth, and we lobby our government to recognize things of that nature. And this is why I say Black people like symbolic stuff. We don't like things that have value, things that have substance, things that are actually going to produce a change positively for us, things that are actually going to propel us forward. We like the foolishness that part of our culture. We like trying to walk around like we proud to be Black. We like trying to portray and, you know what I'm saying, put out to everybody else that our culture is so unique and it's so dope and it's so this and so that. But really, we just like engaging in a lot of foolishness. And we like the excuse to do so. That whole BET show for 2021 was, the whole theme of that show was for the culture. And what was going on in that show? A bunch of rainbow activity, a bunch of twerking, a bunch of foolishness, a bunch of hoe activity. You had Lil Nas X tongue kissing a dude. You had, and up there ain't dancing right, making a mockery out of MJ's Remember the Time. You just, I mean, you know, he ain't really talented or nothing like that. Just up there making a spectacle. These are the types of things that we have in our culture, and we, you know what I'm saying, push the things forward. Well, it's part of our culture, it's part of our culture. And we feel like we gotta be loyal to the culture no matter what the culture says. And really, we are loyal to a culture without understanding where that culture comes from, or without wanting to understand where it comes from, or not wanting to look at where this culture actually comes from. We don't like actually looking at that. We don't like looking at the facts of who actually created the culture that we perpetuate. See, we like to think we created stuff, but we didn't. We didn't create all of this stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's quote unquote part of our culture. All of that killing, that drill rap stuff, that's quote unquote part of our culture. Gangster rap became part of our culture, but why? Twerking is part of the culture, but why? Hoeing is part of the culture, but why? See, what we don't do is we don't look any deeper to anything, and we just want to excuse our tomfoolery by saying we just doing it for the culture and we're loyal to our culture like other people are loyal to theirs. And this isn't to say that other people's culture don't have problems or cons in them. Everybody's culture does. But at the same time, we the ones that act a fool. And we make stupid stuff part of our culture. Going back to the whole Bud Billiken thing, why do we have to have a parade that's not named after nobody real? Like, I want y'all to stop and think about that. Out of all of the historically important Black men and Black women in Black folks' history, we had to make up a name, and it was a masculine name. So instead of giving some type of honor or credit or accolade to a real life Black man that may have actually tried to do something to propel Black people forward, we give a fake name to a fake parade that doesn't do anything. Now, the whole purpose of the whole Bud Billiken thing is to like be back to school and community. But I'm going to share something with you. These little facts about the Bud Billiken parade. For those of you who do not know what that is because you are not from Chicago, you learn a little something. So Bud Billiken parade, 10 facts. The Bud is the largest Black parade in the world, second largest parade in the country, number 2 parade in the nation. But what does that help us? Okay, it's the largest Black parade in the world, but so? Which one of us was truly benefited out of this? How has this helped our culture? How has this helped Black people? How has this helped the community? And I'm not just ragging on Bud Billiken, but I'm using it as an example of the things that we uphold that don't have nothing to do with nothing. Number 2, celebrate 90 years of the world's largest back-to-school parade. But what's the condition of the Black school? What is the condition of our education in this country, in this city? Chicago Public School District is one of the worst school districts in the nation, especially in Black communities. They underfunded. We had the worst teachers, the most crowded classrooms, the most police presence. The schools look like prisons and they operate like prisons. Number 3, over 500,000 attendees every year. Okay, Ann. Number 4, over 200 marching bands, drill teams, dance teams, tumblers, and other talents travel from all over the country to participate. And I'm not saying anything against the talented young people, because these are usually teenagers and stuff like that that are part of the little dance teams and stuff. And I'm not here to, denigrate them or down them for wanting to be tumblers and things of that nature. I mean, but it seems like that's all we know how to do is propel our youth into the entertainment fields from young, to be dancers, to be athletes for other people's entertainment, to be owned by other people, have to be dictated to. We don't propel our children to be entrepreneurs, to go into different fields that don't have anything to do with sports and entertainment. Because this is all that we think that our children are capable of doing. And that's so far from the truth. Okay, number 5, $25,000 awarded in scholarships to qualified applicants. $25,000 is nothing. In terms of scholarships, that's not no money. Do you know that other more affluent neighborhoods, they don't have to have a parade to do this stuff. They are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars awarded for scholarships for their children. So if you was a valedictorian or a salutatorian or something like that, or you graduated top 5, top 10 out of your class, you're getting these very prestigious scholarships out of high school to go into the universities of your choice. $25,000 is nothing to be distributed among however many of our children. So that means that many of our children who actually could deserve some scholarships aren't going to get it simply because there's not enough money to pass around to Black kids. Number 6, 100,000 school supplies given to Chicago students. You realize that this is these little 50-cent pencils, 10-cent folders, and 89-cent one subject notebooks that you get out of Foreman Mills, or you get out of Walmart, or you get out of the Dollar Tree. This is what we're talking about. 100,000 school supplies. Of what quality are they? How many students are actually receiving this stuff? Where are the companies that are donating it? The parade route stretches 2 miles through the historical Bronzeville neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. That doesn't mean anything. It's a south side parade. It attracts over 1.2 million viewers every year. Okay, fine. So you got a lot, because people like to watch Black people perform. Number 9, average Chicagoan has attended 10 Bud Billiken parades in their lifetime. That's because it's just something to do on the south side in the summertime, at the end of the summer. 10, boosts over 80 sponsors and community partnerships. But my thing is, again, are the students really benefiting out of this? Who's the beneficiary for this stuff? $25,000 is not enough money to spit at how many Black students are trying to go to school or trying to go back to school. Because we don't get propelled into anything that means anything. We like a lot of foolishness. And we like to do things that seem like we making some type of effort without actually making an effort. And you know that the effort is not being made because the progress is not there. After years and years, that's 90 years of that. If that was effective for Black students in the Chicagoland area, then we would have better educational support. But we do not. Our Black students, particularly our Black boys, consistently fall behind. They are consistently placed in the special ed classes, wrongly diagnosed with ADHD, wrongly given medication, wrongly, you know what I'm saying, told that they can't participate in normal school activities. They are disproportionately expelled and suspended and disciplined for normal child behavior. And yes, I spent off into education, but again, what do we do in our culture that actually propels us forward, that even makes us look good before the eyes of the world? People mock us. They don't look up to us. We're looked to for the tomfoolery and for the entertainment. We're not looked to as inspirations to move forward. That go from what's even perceive our culture, because people perceive Asian culture as this kind of tough thing, but it produces excellence out of the people. That's what people perceive the various East Asian cultures. So China, Japan, things of that nature. We perceive their cultures as producing hard workers, people who reach for excellence because they have a choice. Because that's what's expected of them to do. We expect Asians to be smart, and some people laugh and say they overachievers, but that's part of how their culture is perceived, whether it's real or not. We perceive that white people's culture produces people that are going to make it, that are going to find ways to get out of poverty if they ever happen to be in it. And black people culture, we are perceived as the clowns and the buffoons. We gonna dance a jig, we gonna sing, we gonna twerk, we gonna pop, we gonna run, we gonna throw a ball, we gonna sweat, we gonna fight, we gonna do all of this other stuff. But we are not looked to for excellence. Nobody looks up to black people or looks at our culture and say, that culture produces excellence and we need to try to almost model ourselves after it. No. We like to go towards the foolishness. That's what we like to do. We ignore our real history for foolishness. Most black people don't know real, true black history. We know the popular names that pop up in school. Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, and all of these types. And that's not to take anything away from these individuals that I just named. But there is so much more rich history that we have as a people that most of us do not know and will never know because it's boring. Because we like the tomfoolery instead. We like to be known for being lit and getting the party started. We like to be known for that. Our culture in America has turned into complete trash. And we like to perpetuate it. Nobody's looking to turn it around. Our women are devalued and degraded. They degrade themselves. At first, during the 80s and 90s, women just said that part of the rap culture and stuff like that was degrading them. They weren't doing it themselves. But nobody canceled that. Nobody got rid of it. Now women are just devaluing themselves. And the men too. There's no value in this here. When you take look at drill rap, and I'm saying drill rap because Chicago is really affected by that. We're not the only place affected by it. But there's a lot of violence that's coming along with that and behind that. Got these young men out here not valuing their lives or the lives of other young men because they see them as ops and all that stupid stuff. Who told one young black man that another black man that's around his age was his opposition? What makes him his opposition? We like to try to be gangsters and all this kind of stuff. Even those of us who wasn't even raised in that type of environment want to adopt that type of culture. We want to adopt struggle as part of the culture. Well, this is trash. So what are we going to do about it? First thing, we need to start understanding what a culture is, what biology is, what a culture is, and what is environment, and how do these three things play off of one another. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about bioculture, I'm talking about just the concepts of biology, culture, and environment. What are these things? How do these things interplay and create civilizations? How does it affect how we live and how we interact with one another? We need to start understanding where this culture comes from. and why we behave the way that we do. Why do we shun excellence and go towards debauchery and debasement and devaluing? Why do we do that? Who taught us the hatred of ourselves? We got to actually take a look at that. Because this is the key. This is the importance. Black people don't really understand what culture is or how it affects biology or environment. And when we get to talking like this, we get to tune it out because we ain't lit. And this is part of the problem. Because we too busy dancing a jig and singing a tune and wanting to be lit and wanting to party, and we're not paying attention to everything else that other people are paying attention to. And this is why we're behind everybody. This is why we're at the bottom of the totem pole. Because we too busy trying to be entertained and everybody else is trying to know how the world works. So the question on the table is, are we going to learn? That's the question on the table. Are Black people ever going to get tired of the culture that we were given and actually create one that has some value in it? Because if we don't do that, we're doomed. It's over. It's a wrap. So sound off in the comment section for me. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I am the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.